Enwere mma n'ụtụtụ tata abụọ na-ekele. Ekene gị ma na-anabata gị n'ụlọ ọrụ mgbasa ozi EBEONADI 103.5 FM. Tata bụ ụbọchị nke mbụ n'ime ọnwa Septemba 2022. Ana m asị gị happy new month. Ndị uwe ojii sonyere anyị n'oge newspaper headlines. Anyị ga-aga n'ihu ma bụrụ na isicha ozi ịgụpụtara gị ihe na-akwụkwọ akụkọ ndị anyị jiri gaa. Ndewo, ịnwekwana ebe njem anyị
I'm coming.
nke a dị na-ahụzi ihe ọ na-ekwu. Just noise a ọ na-eme kịta okwu okwu adị na-anụzi ihe ahụ na-ekwu.
On a noise.
Ihe m na-ekwu bụ nke a na-eme kịta. Ahụghị m ịnọ
I'm not maybe can observe
my voice are out of more loud.
well of Mananka.
So they put up that whatever. Mana egwu agụba. Ị na-anụ ya very well. Voice ma anụ ọ ihe m na-ekwu.
Okay.
My voice anụghị m ya mana egwu na-akpọ dị loud.
I'm going to win.
Mana ihe nsogbu ọ bụrụ na a ga-agbanyete ọfụma ime a na-ege vidiyo na the other side.
Also, remember to include your name, address, telephone number, email, and your signature. Notes that the complaints also question and receive the 8 working days of the query broadcast and receive your right to quality broadcast.
Ọ bụrụ na ị ka na-abatara ndị uwe n'ụtụtụ a, anyị ka na-asịkwa gị happy new month n'ọnwa Septemba nke ihe ọma ọdịnihu. Ọnụ n'ọrụ mgbasa ozi EBEONADI 103.5 FM isiri anyị n'oge newspaper headlines. Anyị ji akụkọ The Guardian newspaper, Punch, Nation, Premium Times, Daily Trust, Vanguard, Sun, Tribune, anyị jikwa akwụkwọ This Day. Ọ bụrụ na ohere ga-adị n'anya. Mana gaa n'ihu ji eji sonyere anyị na Facebook page anyị bụ @EBEONADI 103.5 FM maọkwanụ na stream live online mixlr.com/gfm. Ị ga-ezitenwere anyị ozi na SMS maọbụ na WhatsApp anyị bụ 08096661035. Aha m bụ Dịka.
And I'm Martin. Let's get started with the Guardian newspaper. Dissociate from ASUU strike. Oyo State's acting governor tells LAUTECH. CDHR lampoons federal government over alleged move to proscribe ASUU. Committee for the Defense of Human Rights lampoons federal government over alleged move to proscribe ASUU. Anambra Monarchs partner women group to end harmful traditional practices. Anambra to host mega Wali for Obi. Group condemns federal government's move to borrow for 2023 budget financing. Gafaru, Lagos streets burdened by erosion. Akeredolu, others knock federal government over pipeline protection contracts to individuals. Imo government thriving on accountability. Those are the Mattel's accountants. Obaseki meets private school owners, seek support to sustain education sector reform. AIDS Foundation, civil society organizations, tax leaders, governments on $18 billion global fund. Ogun government lauds federal government skill acquisition training programs. Obasanjo, troops neutralize suspected IPOB members in Imo. Wema board gets new board members, name Odotan, Shaman. FEM launches Omalecha to dismantle female discrimination in home ownership. Lagos, 21-year-old man nabbed for stealing boss's car to fund relocation abroad. Be vigilant. Nigeria sliding into dictatorship, Jonathan warns. Experts tax Nigerians on regular medical checkups as Edo Clinic opens. I will fix Ebonyi economy if elected, says Apga Guba candidate. Gorbachev, courageous reformer, says Buhari in tribute to ex-Soviet Union leader. Cross River residents score local governments low in performance survey, seeks better local governance. Diri urges Niger Delta University lecturers to call off sympathy strike. Digital economy critical in building resilience against risk disruption. Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industries. EFCC, Nigeria Security Civil Defense Corps apprehend 13 suspected illegal miners in Kwara. EFCC, Nigerian Security Civil Defense Corps apprehend 13 suspected illegal miners in Kwara. Stiff regulation, reason for Nigeria's dysfunctional power sector, says Accords Imulemen. National Population Commission enlists core MEMS 2023 National Census. We don't abduct Nigerians, only make arrests where necessary, DSS clarifies. Why Buhari deserves more accolades for 3.50% GDP growth. Buhari Media Organization. Jaji tax 2,382 promoted firemen on service delivery. Director General seeks affordable housing for NYSC personnel. P2B didn't strike deal with Atiku, says Okupe. Over 70 civil society organizations ask Senate to reject nomination of APC members as INEC recs. Court to hear Wike's suit against PDP, Atiku, September 14th. University of Benin still part of ASUU strike. Chapter chairman. How multinational tobacco companies aid illicit financial flows in Nigeria. Others report. Osibanjo leads energy mission to USA today. Building collapse. Ganduje orders intensified rescue operation. Commit 10% of budget to agric stakeholders, tell government. And lastly, on the Guardian newspaper, after 14.6 billion naira, Nigeria Air misses fifth takeoff amid investors' apathy.
Now, Daily Trust, federal government flags off the warming of 10 million children of school feeding program. Federal government flags off the warming of 10 million children on school feeding program. Niger communities around electricity generating dam facing havoc. Governor Bello. Niger communities around electricity generating dams facing havoc. Governor Bello. Civil servants more corrupt than politicians. Senate committee. Civil servants more corrupt than politicians. Senate committee. Cholera kills two in Adamawa. Cholera kills two in Adamawa. Illegal economies fueling instability in West Africa. Illegal economies fueling instability in West Africa. Malnutrition threat to Nigeria's public health. Malnutrition threat to Nigeria's public health. High cost of living takes toll on Nigerians. High cost of living takes toll on Nigerians. Nomination of APC members as regs by President Buhari is injustice. TNG. Nomination of APC members as regs by President Buhari is injustice. TNG. Obi driving sentiment through church wrong. Okowa. Obi driving sentiment through church wrong. Okowa. Clash of the governors. Clash of the governors. Boosting intra-African trade will power post-COVID-19 recovery and foster food security. Boosting intra-African trade will power post-COVID-19 recovery and foster food security. Task before new RNFAC boss. Task before new RNFAC boss. Is not this a lamentable thing? Is not this a lamentable thing? Of inflation glitz in Nigeria's economy. On the killing of Sheikh Aisami, on the killing of Sheikh Aisami, Nasarawa distributes ATM cards to NG Cares beneficiaries. Theft suspect jumps off police van, bags 1 year. Gunmen storm Kwara community, abduct man, daughter-in-law. Amotekun parades fall over burglary in Ekiti. Kano man remanded for beating brother to death. One killed, other missing in Kogi communal clash. Police arrest 3 robbers in Benue. Mom, son arraigned for assaulting neighbor. I sold my boss Jeep to fund my trip abroad. Suspect. 2 brothers gang rape 4-year-old girl in Lagos. Federal Capital Territory. Why tribunal sacked Buhari council chair? Son arrested for stealing mom's car to bed. Stop setting up unapproved shrines, Oba of Benin warns. Rider drowns while washing tricycle in Kano. The POA set to assist troops with mental problems. How 7 family members died after breakfast in Sokoto. Gombe government to boost public schools with 1,000 new teachers. Students' access to archives, records will encourage learning, federal government. Nigeria needs 84 trillion naira to bridge gas facility deficit. Silver. Customers groan over banks downtown on e-transactions. Digital tech can boost local product exports. Abuja Chamber of Commerce and Industry. 5 Kano millionaires emerge in Dangote Cement program. Foreign investment in Nigeria rose to $1.5 billion in Q2. National Bureau of Statistics. 2023, Labour Party claims 22 million votes. 22 million voters says we are not a social media party. 2023, Osibanjo, Lawan, Amechi's absence stalled APC reconciliation meeting. PDP crisis. Ayu slams Wike, says I won't step down as chair. 2023. Why Tinubu, Shetima, 5 APC governors met Jonathan. The serious and frivolous politics of shoes. PTAB expands zonal branches to ease access. Forex firm, Opta foreign exchange trading account hits 12 million. Federal government to build 2.5 megawatt solar plant in NDA. Computer makers fault NPC for using foreign devices. 2023 growing plan. Federal government may drive Nigeria's debt to highest ever. Participants at NESG Forum advocate 2 second planting seasons. Super Falcons arrive in Kinshasa City for friendly clash with USA. NCC sets new international termination rate at $0.10. $0.10. Center launches corruption probe portal. 10 Hearts expect Ronaldo to stay at Man United. Fish sellers recount glorious days as supply sales drop. Computer manufacturers fault use of foreign IT devices for 2023 census. Tuchel tells Chelsea to toughen up after Southern Tongue defeat. Nigeria's economy outlook gloomy. NACC. First National Summit on Golf begins in Abuja. Ex-Paralympian Pistorius seeks to force early jail release. INEC demands observers group report on Osun Ekiti polls. Students, Adamu security aides clash at APC headquarters. Presidency to autumn, you lied against security system. 2023, Osibanjo Lawan Amechi's absence stalls APC reconciliation meeting. 2023 presidency, I won't entertain campaign in my church. Reverend Esther Ajayi. Aid workers regain freedom after 174 days in Boko Haram den. Appeal court dismisses the defense suit against Akwa Ibom Worship Center. The simple solution to the ageless long ASUU embryo. Danduje revokes land allocation of collapsed Kano building converts to parking space. Jonathan, how I tackled ASUU strike in one day. How some generals threatened me with CIA, Wike. Shetima will take charge of responsibilities assigned to Tinubu, Kiamu replies Opowa. 2023. Trying to go through church, not the right path, Opowa tells Obi. How to know you are a witch? Actor Yo Edochie. Promotions go with more work. Anambra CP tells officers. Absence of judge stalls continuation of APC Nasarawa West senatorial primaries hearing.
And now we move over to the Punch newspaper. Suspected hoodlums spelled Kwankwaso in Kogi. Military suffering from inexperienced hands. Retired colonel. Akeredolu criticizes federal government over 4 billion naira pipeline contract. Atiku orders filed suit on PDP primary. Nigeria records 1,701,519 rights violation. Children worst hit. Oyo invested 156 billion naira in infrastructure, says acting governor. Name terrorism sponsors. Oyo tips Obi tells federal government. ASUU welcomes government intervention. Once sincerity. ASUU welcomes governor's intervention. Once sincerity. Boko Haram planning operation cells in Adamawa. Fintri laments. Churches must not turn campaign grounds, says cleric. Fulfill promise of credible elections, Wike tell INEC. Ukraine-Russia war, banditry threatening Nigeria's food security. Jang lands fate on alleged 6.3 billion naira fraud Friday. Omokri, Bridges, knock Tinubu for seeking Jonathan's support. Edo plans mass burial for unclaimed corpse. Lagos records 4,860 domestic sexual violence cases. I won't allow anyone destabilize PDP. ASUU vows. Jonathan attends Kuka's 70th birthday party, praises cleric. Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps raids security outfits in Anambra, arrest 13. Why Senate banned importation of substandard singeries, experts. Atiku, PDP asks court to dismiss Wike's suit. International non-governmental organization laments poor living conditions of internally displaced persons. Building collapse. Ganduje visits scene, decries Land use. Monkeypox outbreak tops 50,000 cases worldwide. Tinubu, Obi, others at Kuka's 70th birthday. Cow meat consumption ban still in force. IPOB. Boko Haram planning operation in Adamawa Fintri. Action Democratic Party debunks internal crisis report. And still on the story is making the headlines on the Punch newspaper. Emirates resume flights operation in Nigeria Thursday. Obama unveils White House portraits after Trump snub. Disco restores power to Cross River Government House. Obi made no deal with Atiku. Okupe. Soldiers kill 2 Eastern Security Network members in Imo. Skill acquisition. Federal government to train 2,000 Ogun residents. Pakistan flood survivors recount horror. Hundreds die. Rivers Commissioner of Police, APC, mourn ex-police spokesman Omoni. No verdict in Ryan Giggs assault trial. Princess Diana, tributes pour in 25 years after. EFCC arrests 13 illegal miners in Kwara. Russia's Gazprom halts gas deliveries to Europe. How immunocal can improve menstrual health. Expert. Fayemi hails Kuka at 70. Inspector General of Police to unveil Public Relations School in Abuja. National Youth Service Corps Director General seeks affordable housing for officials. 6.3 billion fraud. Court rules on Jang September 2. Taliban marks anniversary of foreign troops exit. Queen Elizabeth to receive new prime minister at retreat. Poor cultivation due to insecurity causing hunger. Nigeria Economic Summit Group. APC wants to dump Jonathan, activist. Gorbachev. Buhari eulogizes last Soviet leader. And lastly, tomato flu scare grips India.
The Vanguard newspaper, Access Bank leading sustainable operations, EMD. Access Bank leading sustainable operations, EMD. NANS to state varsity, resume work. Your decision to join strike, unpatriotic. APC presidential aspirant meeting cancelled over lack of interest. APC presidential aspirant meeting cancelled over lack of interest. 2. Mark for alleged gang raping 18-year-old girl in Ogun. 2. Mark for alleged gang raping 18-year-old girl in Ogun. Adamawa cholera outbreak kills 2 others in critical condition. Adamawa cholera outbreak kills 2 others in critical condition. 2 teens die. 2 teens die in Jigawa caning mishap. 2 teens die in Jigawa caning mishap. I wanted to sell my boss car to relocate abroad. Suspect. Ondo court reminds 23-year-old man for killing grandmother over food. Nigerian filmmaker urges federal government to create film commission to boost sector's GDP. Eyes new African narrative. No work, no pay. Implications on national development. PDP. Ayu knows Hall, says calls on him to quit childish. Maritime ban takes off in 90 days. Minister. Troops neutralize militants in Imo. Recover rocket launchers. 60,000 migrants work in Nigeria. Report 2023. Restoration of my mandate. APC's nightmare. Oborewori. Corruption. Poor infrastructure remain Nigeria's greatest development challenge. LCCR. We don't abduct terrorized citizens. DSS refutes AI report. We don't abduct terrorized citizens. DSS refutes AI report. I am a product of justice. Enugu PDP Guba candidate. Wike can't force my resignation. He was a child when we formed PDP. IU. NCC raises termination rate for international calls by 55%. Autumn's lies insults. Autumn's lies insult nation's security system. Presidency hits Benue governor. Autumn's lie insults nation's security system. Presidency hits Benue governor. Sizzler accuses top government official of aiding tobacco companies' tax evasion. Sizzler accuses top government officials of aiding tobacco companies' tax evasion. ASUU, how I tackled 4 month strike in 1 month. Jonathan, Kuka loves to ruffle feathers, give leaders good trouble. Fayemi, Tinubu, Obi, others attend Kuka's 70th birthday. Okada ban from September 1. Riders, passengers risk 3 years imprisonment. Lagos State government warns. Nigerians detained in Dubai, passports seized. Nigerians shouldn't allow politicians make religion a factor in election. Obasa, commuters stranded as angry Benue youth protest state of Makurdi. Aliade Federal Highway barricade road. Cameroon, Egypt arrive Abuja for Africa Volleyball Championship. Yes, there are consequences for manipulating politics with religion, warns Bishop Cooper.
And now we move over to the Nation newspaper. What Kuka stands for by North governors. Call of sympathy strike, the retells Niger Delta University lecturers. Lagos Go Restaurant Festival begins. 10 finalists selected in Safe Food Innovation Challenge. Sports Minister to produce special brochure for talent hunt athletes. Federal government's project to reduce poverty. Lagos urges caregivers to protect children. We'll go for a short break. When we come back, we'll continue on the stories making the headlines on the Nation newspaper. Don't go anywhere.
Agreed by the contents of the broadcast or the conduct of the broadcast station. No should complaints to the station and all right to the Director General, National Broadcasting Commission, number 20, Ibrahim Tayo Street, Asiko, Abuja, or send a mail via info@nbc.gov.h. Please ensure that the content includes name of the broadcast station, title of the program, date and time of broadcast, and essence of the content. Also, remember to include your name, address, telephone number, email, and a your signature. No such a complaint. Also, we should NBC within 14 days of the quality broadcast. NBC, your right to quality broadcasting. Yes, the sales of funds for new intake into JS1 and SS1 is ongoing at Basic Comprehensive Secondary School, Campus 2, located at Ikolo Kiri behind the Kiri Police Station of Kiri. Students are hereby invited to come and take their forms. Remember, the coming entrance exam into the school will take place on 31st August 2022. So, hurry now to obtain your forms. The official lessons commence on 2nd August 2022. For more inquiries, come to Basic Comprehensive Secondary School, Campus 2 at Ikolo Kiri behind the Police Station, or Campus 2, number 14 Amadi Street, opposite Union Bank, New Market Road, Bar. You can still call 080-339-780-76. Music Complete Music School, building the intellectuals of tomorrow. And Volume Limited, main domestic appliances, dealers on all types of electronics, LG, Sharp, Chico, Samsung, Panasonic, and so on. Buy any of our products and go home with a fantastic price. We have all types of television sets, refrigerators, freezers, air conditioners. We are also masters of gas cookers and microwaves. And we deliver your goods straight to your homes. Call us today and see it as it is. In our showroom, number 1 Oyo State, opposite Ecobank, we work alone by Modern Junction. Or call us on 080-7798-6569. With that employment limited for 40 years, let's still out.
You're welcome back. You're still tuned to EBEONADI 103.5 FM, and this is Newspaper Headlines. Remember that you can send your reactions via SMS or WhatsApp on 080-9666-1035. You can as well join us on Facebook at EBEONADI 103.5 FM. You can also stream online via mixlr.com/gistfm. We are on to the Nation newspaper. Lagos urges caregivers to protect children. Infinity Microfinance Bank to raise 5 billion naira new short-term capital. Nigeria records over 3.5 trillion naira post-harvest losses. Alleged drug deal. Court rejects bail request by Abakari. Others. Organ harvest victim urges court to reverse order releasing his biodata. Kuka at 70. Tinubu celebrates bishop's devotion to public good. Imo, Ekiti have lowest out of school children, says UNICEF. Federal government launches public projects tracking websites. And lastly, on the Nation newspaper, Buhari to Nigerians, I won't interfere in next year's pool.
Now, some newspaper, sports business logos, Noel Okorogo. Excuse me, Noel Okorogo goes home this weekend. Sports business logo, Noel Okorogo goes home this weekend. Your strike plots to destroy public varsities. Nance tells ASUU. Your strike plots to destroy public varsities. Nance tells ASUU. No going back on Okada ban. Lagos insists. No going back on Okada ban. Lagos insists. How I resolved 4 months strike during my tenure, Jonathan. How I resolved 4 months strike during my tenure, Jonathan. Alleged order by Buhari to security agents not to touch Fulani killer herdsmen. Bottom line, presidency. Police beef up security as fracas over Nance election rocks APC headquarters. Why federal government should protect Nigerians in diaspora. A launch. Lagos record 4,860 cases of rape, domestic violence, orders in 10 months. Lagos records 4,860 cases of rape, domestic violence, orders in 10 months. Edo to conduct mass burial for bodies at illegal mortuary. Orders. Edo to conduct mass burial for bodies at illegal mortuary. Orders. Apostle Achudume, How to Win War Against Insecurity. Apostle Achudume, How to Win War Against Insecurity. Lagos records 4,800 cases
As you may know, and as you should know, today was a very
violence orders in 10 months. Land dispute. Tension in Delta communities over Attorney General of Federation's purported letter. Land dispute. Tension in Delta communities over Attorney General of Federation's purported letter. Police arraign sale of bus car. Police. Lagos police nab man negotiating sale of bus car. Abia APP Guba candidate. Mascot Carlo kickstarts local government verification tour. Abia APP's Guba candidate. Mascot Carlo kickstarts local government verification tour. Obi to federal government. Disclose identity of those aiding abetting oil theft. Obi to federal government. Disclose identity of those aiding and abetting oil theft. Shakaral's supporters declare support for NNPP, refuse to defect. Shakaral's supporters declare support for NNPP, refuse to defect. While we continue to pay idle refineries workers, Kyari raised 1 million votes for Atiku in Abia. Road to 2023. People using Muslim tickets to play politics. Lasisi Jumo. 2023. APC can't get 25% in most states. PDP. Ex-rep member. Women canvass support for Tinubu at summit in Edo. Edoda, our Guba candidates. Enugu Labour Party chairman insists. Edo North 2023. Ali Mikena gets certificate of return. PDP crisis. I won't step down. Ayu insist. PDP. Atiku. Tambuwal challenge Wike's suit. Road to 2023. Ogun NNPP governorship candidate raises alarm over plans to forge withdrawal signature petitions INEC. Ọ dị mma ka anyị lenye anya n'akwụkwọ this day. Na this day newspaper, federal government rules CSOs in bid to sustain state fiscal reforms. MTEF, absence of key MDAs at House Committee presentation. Committee urges court to prioritize SGBV cases. Jonathan narrates how he spent whole night to resolve ASUU strike. Emirates Airline restores Lagos flight operations. NCC crashes international termination rates for telecom. CSO Group urges lawmakers to reject 3 REC nominees. Geometric Power says it suffers 100 million naira monthly energy theft. Group Africa losing $88.6 billion to illicit financial flow annually. Atiku's team rubbishes claims Tinubu single-handedly built. Okada Bank defaulting riders, passengers risk 3 years jail term. Buhari mourns Gorbachev, says he was a courageous reformer. Rehabilitation work on toll gate section of Lagos-Abeokuta 2023. Court asked to restrain NNPP Kwankwaso Vice President. Court to hear Wike's suit against Atiku September 14. Alleged plan to privatize health institutions. Suicidal. NLC. Retune immunization. Dangote Foundation. KANU. UNICEF. INEC expresses reservation over observers late. Wike, why Buhari must not interfere in 2023 elections. Presidency. Autumn should name who claimed. NSCDC issues operating licenses to 20 private guards. Irritated. Abia APC Guba candidate MNK promises to develop. DSS denies adopting innocent citizens. 21-year-old arrested for stealing bus car. Dangote Cement 1 billion naira promo paid. Lagos records 4,000 860 domestic violence, rape, sexual assault. Matthew Hassan Cooper at 70, an assembly derailed by success. As more countries roll out 5G network, ITU warns. Nigeria lost about 50 trillion naira to violence in 1 year. Terrorists ambush soldiers, kill two, injure four in Katsina. Global agency seeks federal government state partnership on IDP's flights. Justice delivery. Monitoring committee, cholera. Kokbe group applauds appeal court judgment. FUDMA, Georgia University sign MOU on research. Rare minerals, demand for copper, lithium, others. Gbajabiamila congratulates newly elected NDA president. Articles candidacy not offensive to South, says Dokpesi. Lawmakers decry Energy Commission's remittances. One dies. Six survive in Kogi auto crash. Buhari mourns Gorbachev, says he was a courageous reformer. Ogun 2023. Labour Party mocks PDP, denies losing members. Obaseki secures release of community head, secretary. South senior civil servants hail police action. Bauchi donates 32 transformers to rural urban.
And now we move over to the Premium Times. PDP crisis. Those calling for my resignation are children. You blast weakest group. Pandora Papers. New UK law to end secret property investments by Nigerians. Orders. APC governor tackles Buhari over pipeline contract to Tompolo. Nigeria's energy transition plan. Osibanjo departs for US. Nigeria's energy transition plan. Osibanjo departs for US. How work culture promotes consumption of unhealthy foods by Nigerian journalists. Tinubu visits Jonathan, seeks support. Nigeria losing 95% oil production at Bonny Terminal to theft. Kari. Why we awarded multi-billion naira pipeline protection contract to Tompolo, NMPC. Two teenagers die in Jigawa boat mishap. Nigeria threatens to shut down domestic airline over debt, gives 30-day deadline. And lastly, Buhari to APC governors, I won't interfere in 2023 elections.
Absence of judge tells continuation of APC Nasarawa West Senatorial Primaries hearing. Absence of judge spells continuation of APC Nasarawa West Senatorial Primaries hearing. Protest as over 80 houses are demolished in Edo community. Buhari pays tribute to last leader of ex-Soviet Union, Mikhail Gorbachev. Eyowo launches digital first MasterCard amid growing demand for digitally driven money management solutions. Airline operators reply NCAA deny converting 19 billion naira to personal use. Two mothers, five children die after eating breakfast in Sokoto. I pity Shakarao for defecting to PDP. Buba Galadima. Labour Party, we are not a social media party. We have 22 million voters. Drug deal. Again, court denies Abba Kyari bail. ASUU to students, we didn't seek your support before we started struggle. Defection, what I should have told Shekarau if I were close to him. NNPP chairman. Tinubu hails Bishop Peter Opmaleke's elevation as cardinal. Those calling for my resignation are kids. Ayu bombed Wike's camp. Osibanjo off to US for Nigeria's energy transition plan. IBBU asks lecturers to shun ASUU strike, announces resumption. Insecurity. Buhari's directive to service chiefs now yielding results. Laye Mohammed. Iboho. Appeal court nullifies 20 billion naira judgment awarded against DSS. Nigerian varsity. LASU wins Ocean Global Prize. Boronu. UNICEF trained journalists in reintegration of repentant Boko Haram. FUDNA, UWGUS signed MOU on teaching, learning and research. Boat mishap, two teenagers die, seven rescued in Jigawa community. Federal government clamps down on vandals, oil thieves. Ogun governor assures Ijoko Akute residents of motorable road. 2023 Forum urges Nigerians to look for candidates with workable templates. Lack of population data causing problems in Nigeria. Edwin Clark. Buhari committed to local government autonomy. Akume. Buhari greets Bishop Kuka at 70. Federal government retreats commitment to oil-producing communities development. 115 killed, 73,379 displaced as floods hit 22 states, Federal Capital Territory. Otu akpọbata akpọrọ n'ụtụtụ anụ a na headlines. Ka anyị gaa n'ihu tụpụtara gị ozi ndị mmadụ zitere na Facebook page. Anyị nwere ozi si n'aka Ọzọ Francis Nnamani from Amagoze, Enugu State. Ọzọ says, name the sponsors of terrorism, oil thieves. Obi tells federal government, we have heard a lot about terrorism sponsors. This is high time the identities of terrorism sponsors should be unveiled together with oil thieves. Enough of all this. Let appropriate sanctions be meted to those sponsoring terrorism in Nigeria as a deterrent. This will surely bring support and sanity to our country. God help us. Dalo Ozo Francis from Amagoze. Ọ dị mma ka anyị na-eche ka anyị bụ akwụkwọ mmepe ọfụma ka anyị lenye anya n'akwụkwọ zitere na WhatsApp. Chukwudi Peter. Chukwudi says, IPOB is right. Ban on cow meat. Fulani can ban on cow meat. Fulani can their cow meat kill us all? Relax. Okay. Timothy Ayemi downloading the happy moments too. Eji m akwụkwọ si n'aka Honorable Osakwe. Honorable Onyedika Osakwe says the ASUU lands labor and federal government saga is like a bicycle rider who berates the person that helped him to climb up. The agenda of the jihadists is gradually manifesting. Most of the lecturers are part of the movement. Things are falling apart. EFCC's action seems to be commendable, but the end justifies the means. You can only be convicted by the agency if you don't have a bargaining power. Looters always add hampers to their travail whenever they want to strike. Wike will be enrolled into a vigilante group after his tenure, as the fund marked out for development was diverted into brigandage and hooliganism. Wike's basket mouth is now alarming. We should go and face Bush, as their state is in penury. Honorable Osako. Evangelist Eze Boniface zitere anyị akwụkwọ from Nkpor. Why Tinubu Shetima meet Jonathan? We the masses have decided to change this APC and PDP government, who have always been the same since 23 years ago after military handover in 1999. The same idea, same party structure, same governance system have been the order of the day. We are tired. We need a new Nigeria, a leader